Today on the Accounting Apps podcast, I'm joined by Scott Wiltshire, Vice President and GM at Oracle NetSuite Australia and New Zealand. Hello, Scott, and welcome to the Accounting Apps podcast. How are you this morning?
I am fantastic, Heather. Very excited actually to be talking to you in the same time zone as my mind for once. So, really nice to be with you today.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to our conversation. It sounds like you and NetSuite have been quite busy since we spoke last in Las Vegas in September 24.
We have been, absolutely. And I guess that's what I was alluding to before. Vegas is never the best place to do these, for me anyway, to do these sorts of interviews. So I am looking forward to it. We have been really, really busy. Obviously, AI is a hot topic on everyone's mind at the moment, despite all the things going on in the world. And it's very exciting for us today. In Australia and New Zealand to announce NetSuite Text Enhance is being made available to Australian and New Zealand customers. And for those of you on the podcast or listening to the podcast that don't know, Oracle NetSuite is a cloud-based ERP provider. We have 43,000 customers around the globe. We have a very healthy and significant customer base here in Australia. And we typically take customers who are outgrowing accounting. So businesses that are quite small with rapid or views of rapid expansion, they're growing very well and looking to punch above their weight and really do more with less. And NetSuite, today, the announcement that we're making around Text Enhance is a generative AI service powered by Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, so powered by the mothership. That really provides all our customers the ability to scale their business even faster and achieve their business goals quicker, because we're giving those customers the ability for personalized, contextually relevant, and company-specific information, or to generate and refine, I should say, content based on their own company information inside NetSuite. So this should be a real game changer for productivity for our customers. And like I said, I'm very excited to talk to you about it today.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to hear all about it. And the thing that can differentiate businesses is they have the data, is actually overlaying the AI across that data and actually using it, enhancing it, and as what you're going to allude to.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, at the moment, we all have access to things like the Meta AI and Chat GPT, but that's not your customer. That's not your company specific information. Your structured data within your ERP is so valuable. So this service gives those customers the ability. For example, we can look at a finance and accounting team being able to generate collections notices based off the structured information within their team. Now, of course, this is all secure. The service really adheres to all existing security protocols, so no information leaves the OCI
It's
instance. Yeah, it's absolutely ring fenced. No customer data is shared externally. It's all role-based permissions are adhered to. But being able to generate content like collections notices to say who's it for, how much they owe, when was the invoice, all of that great, fantastic information that you would have a person manually going through and kind of pulling that information out. Well, you can do that now to click of a button. So it's a huge time saver.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. Now, to pull back slightly, can we explain just in basic language what the text enhance feature is? Just sort of in basic language for people to grasp.
Yeah,
that.
so I guess if you're not sure of a generative AI model, if that's too technical, and for many it is, we're talking about that Chat GPT. Most commonly, people would not understand Chat GPT. So what does that do? It creates the first draft, essentially, of content. But you want that content to be, we're giving the ability now for it to be company-specific information. So not just generic information, but really personalized to the user that's logged in. to the context that you're looking at. So if you are, for example, a sales user and you want to create a new campaign or an outreach email, you could go log into your NetSuite instance, and your view would be essentially the CRM. So you would pull up a customer record and click the button and say, I want to generate an outreach to this customer, rather than you typing out to the correct contact email address, what you're reaching them out to about. You can click the button, that first draft is created for you, and then you can go in and refine that.
Yeah.
We also have some tools. Just to expand on that ability to refine, we do have some tools built into the system already that allow you to, just change, well, let's have another go at that, or let's make it bigger, or let's make it smaller. And then, of course, go back. You could put some prompts in there. I must, with this email that I'm reaching out to, I need to have this sort of content included in it, and it will do that for you.
And can you put a brand tone across emails? And can you define it to create content in Australian English spelling?
Yes. So great, fantastic question. So today we're announcing step one, which is the ability for this text enhance, the availability of text enhance in our region. We do have solutions like Prompt Studio that are in the pipeline. They're released internationally, but not yet in Australia and New Zealand, but they are coming down to us in the next few months, we hope. And Prompt Studio will be able to do what you're talking about there. Really, you'll be able to define the tone and the structure. So when you're creating product descriptions, for example, you can say, I want all my product descriptions to suit this particular structure. It may be 2 sentences, and it must have, what the material's made of, the texture, where it's made, the availability, whether it's a special order or it's on back order, things like that. So you'll be able to tailor that. But at the moment, it's you'd have to prompt those in yourself. But again, it's a fantastic leap forward for our Australian customers. I really think it will drive our competitiveness for NetSuite users in Australia. And really, when you think about it, it brings scale, the economies of scale, to those that don't necessarily have that scale. So think about any user logging into NetSuite and having a personalized AI assistant that understands your business, understands the context of what you're doing in that moment, and can generate and advise you on information, or generate content for you that is contextually relevant, as I said, to help you speed up just that day-to-day operations that you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And for people listening in, it's really beneficial to get on board now so it can learn from you and treat it as your co-pilot. It just don't leave it there to do what it needs to do. Treat it as your co-pilot and work with it to enhance.
Absolutely. Yeah. So in NetSuite, we kind of talk about these AI services as agents and advisors. In this one, we're talking about, it's an assistant or an advisor, and this is an assistant to really help you do your work. So imagine having a personalized assistant that has all the wealth of information out there in the world, as well as contextually relevant information about your business and the activity that you're doing right now to help you do these things a lot faster with more accuracy. This is, like I said, it's a really powerful solution.
Yeah, no, it sounds very exciting, and the evolution of what we're seeing in technology at the moment is startlingly fast, but incredibly enabling for companies. So you have touched on it, but how do you see finance teams using it? They do a lot of manual documentation and a lot of reporting that can be quite time consuming. What are some of the tasks you see it streamlining for the finance teams?
Yeah, look, I did touch on it before. I think collections process
Collections
is,
left,
if you
yes.
think about these processes that require a little bit of manual creation of content, collections is an easy one. As well, in addition to that, authoring for notation of journal entries as well. So but where's the value in this, right? So I think that's fantastic. You're going to be able to collect better than you have before, but is that the end of it? It's actually not. I mean, what are you doing in that time that you save? When this is essentially adding more hours into your day, it's freeing you up to be far more innovative and creative and value adding for the business that you're doing. So that you're working within. So you can do much more higher value added tasks. So you can, I speak to finance execs all day, every day that talk to me about how well NetSuite handles their business and how it does automate all these tasks. But typically they are running very competitive businesses, and their need to control their costs and have great visibility into their business and the key metrics around their business, super important for them. And, wouldn't it be nice if we could just go hire another 12 people to do all that fantastic work for us? Well, here's an opportunity to get a lot of that mind power, that expertise, that value adding workload from your existing workforce, because they're not doing this kind of low-level manual creation of content.
Absolutely. So, with that, is it rolling out across all existing users, or do you switch it on, or do you apply to access text enhance feature?
It will be rolled out to all customers around Australia and New Zealand. We're all being managed on the Oracle Cloud infrastructure service, so it's part of that service. Now, if you want to opt out, there will be a process that you can opt out, but everyone will get it by default.
And sometimes, and I'll touch on the opting out. Sometimes you might want to opt out, but give it a week or so, and then maybe perhaps opt back in again, because sometimes. And I'm not saying with Oracle, but sometimes these things happen and it's like, trying to absorb them and deal with new changes can be overwhelming. But
it absolutely can be. But at the end of the day, the change management for users will be a little box that appears. They can ignore it if they want, but they might just want to hover over and click on it and just see what it can do for them. We just know that, like I said, Australian businesses are so competitive. Our customer base is typically growing really quickly. And they're smaller businesses, smaller and medium-sized enterprises. So they have a finite resources. So, it's just not possible for us to have 25 hours in a day or hire an extra 2 or 3 people to do this work all the time. So this is, as I've been kind of banging on about, this is just a fantastic productivity boost. And I think the early adopters will really see a competitive advantage in their business. The sooner you can get your workforce using these AI services as a true assistant, you're having a real multiplier effect in your business. So instead of having, 10 employees or 20 employees, you have the infinite knowledge of these AI large language models, as well as the company specific, personalized and contextually relevant information. And of course, I keep saying this, but it is secure, it adheres to all the existing security protocols. So users can't go in there and it will not come back and generate information that the users aren't allowed to see.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really good to know. And so for businesses who are hesitant, there's the option to turn it off, but we encourage you to check it out and leverage it and leverage this feature functionality. Now, is there anything else that you would like to share with our listeners about this text enhanced feature, or what they need to know about NetSuite in the future?
Well, look, for if you're a NetSuite customer at the moment, we are looking to make further announcements in the future. We're about to announce our largest, our regional suite world. We call it Suite Connect, which we're going to hold in April later this year, and we're looking to announce some further enhancements to these AI services as well. But this is, today. It's just such an exciting day for us. I've been with the business now 11 years. We have a very, very significant customer base around Australia and New Zealand. And I know that those customers have been crying out for this service because they see the value in their structured data within their ERP, their financial system. And they know that being able to compete tomorrow means they have to be more efficient and find ways to gain productivity today. And this is just a huge leap forward for all of us. So, yeah, really excited. Thank you very much for helping me get the message out.
That's awesome. And I think Sweet World's going to be in Sydney. That's
Suite Connect. This is the regional version of Sweet World. Which, what does that mean? That just means it's our largest customer conference, and we're going to bring in as many of our partners as well around the ecosystem, and we're going to bring our customers together, and you're going to hear from our execs and our subject matter experts, and as well as our partners, as well as other customers and partners, and hear about how they're using NetSuite to drive real competitive advantage in their business and grow and scale and really achieve their business objectives. That's what it's about.
And are you aware if they'll have technical sessions for people to learn more about NetSuite?
We are putting that together as we speak. But yes, absolutely. Training is a huge draw card, actually. We love giving back to our customer base. It's not every day we get this sort of opportunity. So we will absolutely, as we bring those customers together, we'll be offering a range of training services there. That they can avail themselves. So not only do they learn a bit about NetSuite, the product, the direction of the company, what's happening latest, but we can actually teach them how to use NetSuite better. And when you get back to your work, share what you've just learned.
Yeah, absolutely. So for those who are listening in, I've attended a couple of these big conferences. And if you are either in the space already or you're working with companies that kind of are moving into the space, I would encourage you to go along. The networking of just meeting people and hearing what they're doing and comparing notes. And some people I know in the past have said, just meeting people from the same industry and hearing how they're doing and how they're using it was a massive boost to what they were doing within their business. So very exciting that you are having that conference. And I'll put the details in the show notes. For our Australian, New Zealand businesses eager to explore text accounts, where should they start? Is there any further information online? Is there anything
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, for existing customers, we provide personalized account management services to all existing customers. So reach out to your account manager. If you're buying through a partner or you're buying direct from NetSuite, it doesn't matter. You still get an account manager. Just give them a buzz. If you're not sure who that is, that should be it's a shame, but speak to just jump on NetSuite's website, but absolutely speak to your partner if that's the case. I can't imagine it is. We will have information on our website about this new release. And so, you'll be able to click there. You can find me, Scott Wiltshire. I'm the Vice President and General Manager on LinkedIn. I author a lot of content. I'm quite active there, so you'll be able to search and find me. Reach out to me, and I'm happy to have a chat with you, point you in the right direction. But yeah, we have teams of people here ready to help our customers adopt this service. And of course, if you're not a customer, if you're thinking about, if you're a business now that's outgrowing your accounting, or you're using an existing ERP and you're struggling to get live access to information, and the power that brings, and the ability to help scale your business, whether that's locally or internationally. That's really our sweet spot. And so Text Enhance is an additional value add over and above what we currently do. But, the NetSuite is, an absolute market leader. We're a pioneer in cloud ERP. So if you're struggling with multiple systems and not getting the information you need, reach out, jump on our website, have a look at what we've got to offer, fill in the form, and we'll have someone reach out to you and see if NetSuite's right for you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Scott, for joining us on the Accounting Apps podcast. I'm sure our listeners will be interested in what you've shared with us today, and they know all the places to go and look further for it. So thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you in Sydney in April.
Yeah, my pleasure, Heather. Great to catch up with you again. Thank you very much for having me. And yeah, I'll speak to you in April. Absolutely.
Keep up to date with the modern accounting technology landscape by subscribing to the Accounting Apps podcast, signing up to the Accounting Apps newsletter available at accountingapps.io, and joining the conversations happening in the Accounting Apps Mastermind community. I'm your host, Heather Smith, and I'm pretty easy to find on all social media. I look forward to connecting with you.